Hi there and welcome to this week's 10-minute session. You're going to need to roll up a mat for me so that you can lie on it, and if you've got some weighted balls then great, otherwise maybe use 2 tins of beans or something like that. So here I've got a chunky cushion as well because when I'm up on this I don't want my head tipped back, so if you've got a bigger cushion that you can use then go for that, or a rolled up towel. I'm going to pop this down and then I'm going to sit on the end of it here so that my pelvis is actually on the mat, and then roll my spine down and then rest my head comfortably on that there. And now just let your arms come out by the side of the body for a moment and just notice which parts of your spine are in line or connected to the mat underneath you. And you can just get a sense of where your body is right now. And if you feel like you're a little bit extended, if that rib cage feels lifted, just see if we can use the breath to just soften and let go of any tension. And just spread the toes and notice the space between them. And here we're going to roll onto the outside edge of one foot and then rock back to center. And this is a super easy exercise. You're not trying to roll the knee out in a really big movement. Just use it as a way to free up through the hips. The task is to use this exercise to just let go through the spine and let that spine just become a little bit deeper and more connected into the mat underneath you. You're not pushing the spine down, we're not trying to force anything here. You're just letting your body give towards the mat in its own time. And if it feels hard for the body to let go, then that's just where you are in this space right now. Think about this knee movement as just letting go through the hips, letting the spine give. And now we're going to take one arm up and the other, and just imagine you're holding a beach ball that's filled with helium, and just let the fingertips float upwards, again not into tension. And now just think about these shoulders deflating and the weight of the shoulders sinking back towards the mat. So a little float and sink. Nice, just 2 more here. And I want you to just be aware of the shoulder blades running along the sides of the mat as you move them here. Last one, we deflate and hold there, or just let them sink. And then just take one arm out to the side, keeping that spine super heavy on the mat, and then switch. And we'll go one more each side here. And come back and bring the arms down. And this time you're going to reach for the balls and place them in either hand. And just notice how the body's feeling now after just freeing up through the hips and the shoulders slightly. Turning the palms in to face one another, we're going to super slow start to pick up the arms away from the mat. And I want you to keep those shoulders feeling like they're deflated, so they're heavy as you take the arms overhead. Just pause when the arms are on the vertical, almost where they feel weightless. And then think about that helium balloon floating the arms up. And then deflate through the shoulders. Become aware of the shoulder blades connecting on the mat underneath you, and pause. And now start to take the arms overhead, keeping that sense of deflation through the shoulders. And keep going here. And you might start to notice now that that rib cage might want to start to lift. Just keep the weight of the pelvis and the ribs on the mat underneath you as you take the arms overhead. So think of a heaviness through the body. And only take the arms back as far as is comfortable for you, and just pause here. We're going to breathe, keeping the weight of the rib cage and the pelvis heavy. And keep breathing here until we start to get a little bit of a shake through the arms. Keep breathing. So it shouldn't be stressful or strainful on the shoulders, just hold them where you feel comfortable to. And just notice what starts to happen. Perhaps to your breath might change. Maybe you get a change of length in the rib cage. And then we're going to super slow start to bring those arms back up to center. Nice. Find that position where they feel almost weightless, and that weight is just connecting your shoulders into those arm sockets, or the arm bones into the shoulder sockets. And just here, so use the weights as almost a grounding pressure through the shoulders. And then we're going to slide one heel to your sit bone and pick up the knee. So the knee and the thigh bone are now on the vertical, and my heel is nice and close to my sit bone. I'm going to slide the other heel into my sit bone and pick up, and we're going to find a sense of balance here. Now just watch you don't give your spine towards the mat and your knees come into your chest. Get a sense of length through the spine and those knees on the vertical. So if these were buildings, the kneecaps would be the roofs, okay? And then just balance here, and we're going to take one arm out to the side, and although the exercise is to take the arm out, the task is to stay balanced on your mat underneath you. And switch sides. So you'll start to notice how your body is having to find some sort of stability to keep you in the middle of your mat. So away we go here, just one side. And the knee going to go into the other. And here just be aware, take it slow, the control that you're trying to keep. So I struggle that side to find that alignment. I'm going to go one more here. So much easier for me to connect this side and maintain my stability on my mat, and that sense of length through my spine. Find it much harder to find that control on this side. Well done. Then leave those arms there. If the fingertips have started to reach away, just deflate through the shoulders. And now we're going to toe tap here. We're going to go straight into some alternates here. Keep your heels close to your sit bones, and this starts to look a little bit like walking or running. Nice. And then we can just bring in the arms, just let them move with. Just let them do what feels natural, and just staying balanced here. Nice. And we'll go 4 more. 3, 2, 1. Well done. Pause and bring one leg down and the other. And now nice and slowly, keeping wide through the collarbones, bring the hands down by the side of you. Turn the palms down so that the palms are on the tops of the balls. And here I'm not going to cheat and creep my fingers forward. Just glue your hands to the top of the balls and soften your chin. And now as you roll the balls towards your feet, just peel the shoulder blades off your mat, looking over the tops of your knees, and then roll back down. I'm not bending at my elbows. Think of the arms as rods, and somebody's pulling the rods towards the wall in front of you, and then someone's pushing the rods back, and that push of the rod into the arm bone allows the whole of the upper body to come down to that cushion. So we roll up and we roll down. We're going to do 4 more here. Notice how I've just softened my chin slightly, so I'm protecting my deep neck muscles or my spine here. You don't want this chin to be lifted so that you're extended through the back of the neck. So just soften the chin. Mold that spine into that mat. Last one here. And down. And then keeping your hands on the balls, the elbows aren't bent, they're lengthened. Just connect through the hands. So we're going to just squash the balls slightly, or just press into your cans if you've got the cans here. And now you're going to give from the lower back. So we've peeled up from the upper back. Now we're going to peel up from the tailbone. So really think about giving that spine gently towards the cushion or the mat underneath you and pick up. And then roll back down. Just a small movement. And I'm just gently pressing on the balls to come up and just releasing the balls as I come down. So just mobilize that lower back and roll. Keep breathing here through the movements. Nice, and last one. And release down. Brilliant. Take yourself off your mat, roll it out, and just notice how the spine feels on the floor. And if you are on a higher head cushion, either rest it on the floor or a smaller towel. And now we're going to take arms out at shoulder height, palms up to the ceiling. I'm going to leave my feet just comfortably apart, and now I'm just going to roll my knees in this position to one side. And I want you to just nestle the shoulder blades and the hips up towards the ceiling. So it's just a roll of the knees, and then rock back and roll the other way. Cool. And switch. And switch. Nice little mobility into those hips. Back to center. Hug one knee into your chest and the other, and just feel the spine give and that tailbone pick up off the floor. And then I want you to just let the knees come out a little bit until you find where the pelvis feels flat on the mat. And then try and just keep the pelvis there as you add a bit of pressure onto the knees down in towards you. So see where you can control the pelvis in a flat position, but hug the knees in. Then take hold of one knee, reach that leg up to the ceiling, and just get a sense of stretch up the back of the leg. So if you give through the spine, you're going to offload the back of the leg. So really try and keep that pelvis nice and flat. And then here, just lengthen that leg out, and I'm going to deepen the hug of the knee into my chest as I reach. Pause at the bottom here and just get a nice sense of a wide open hip. Breathe into the body. And then bring that leg along the floor and up, and we're going to switch sides. Hug the other knee, reach up, keeping that pelvis nice and flat on the mat. Get a sense of length through the back of the leg. You can flex at the foot. And then send that leg out and long. Pause at the bottom there. Then bring the leg back in. Fold both feet down and just notice how the body feels there. And I'm going to leave you in this position, and you can stay here for as long as you want to. Well done.